the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, but we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%.
My source tonight is Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, whose district is right next door to the facility, and she also co-chairs the Everglades Caucus. So it's great to have you here tonight. You hear what the president is arguing there about this serving as a deterrent, but what Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is also arguing, and he was with the president today, is that this is meant to alleviate burdens on the state's law enforcement and immigration forces as they are trying to deal with the immigration issue and this influx of people they are holding amid the deportation crackdown. Does he have a point in there at all? How do you see this?
First of all, this is not remotely low cost. $450 million at least annually a cost to the state, which, by the way, is not a federal responsibility. The average cost per prisoner is double the annual average. It'll be $150,000 per detainee. This is being plunked into the middle of the Florida Everglades on an airstrip that was abandoned all the way back in the 70s when they envisioned building this mega airport. But it was deemed so environmentally sensitive and there was so much opposition that they abandoned the whole concept years ago, decades ago. Now they're dropping this structure into the middle of the Everglades on environmentally sensitive land, on tribal lands that are sacred, no consultation with the Miccosukee tribe or Seminole tribe of Indians. We are just at the beginning of hurricane season. You saw what those structures like. Those would blow away like matches in a hurricane. I mean, what are how are they going to get the detainees out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, this is an abomination.
When Governor DeSantis says it's a deterrent, that it could force people to self-deport, what do you say to that?
That's preposterous. We have people who have come to this country, fled the worst circumstances, the most dangerous conditions, oppression. They're trekking across the continent, and he thinks that housing them in a tent in the middle of the Everglades is going to be too much for them, so they're going to self-deport. This is not only dangerous, we have had spent 25 years investing billions of dollars restoring the Florida Everglades, and they're dropping a lot of infrastructure, electricity, piping, water in the middle of all of that effort, and it's going to upend decades of environmental restoration that is unacceptable.
We've heard the environmental concerns from Democrats and just criticisms over just the optics of this overall. Republicans are praising this, and they believe that they have voters on their side when it comes to immigration. I mean, they point to numbers like what we heard from the Department of Homeland Security, that 0 people were released into the U.S. in the month of May, which is obviously a huge drop from the numbers when you look at when President Biden was in office. It was 62,000 in May 2024. What do you say to that in terms of they have a bigger sway with voters on immigration right now?
The president completely lied to the American people when he was running, and he said he was only going to go after the most dangerous, violent people who were undocumented immigrants. He just made nearly 1 million more documented immigrants who had TPS or humanitarian parole undocumented overnight by revoking TPS for 500,000 Haitians and 500,000 Venezuelans. That created almost 1 million more undocumented immigrants. Is he going to start putting people who did everything right and followed the rules and the law? Is he going to house them in Alligator Alcatraz? By the way, you don't hear anything at all about undocumented immigrants escaping from immigration facilities. They are people, for the most part, people who they've detained followed the rules. They did what they were supposed to do. They're only here to try to make their life better for them and their families. These are not violent criminals. Almost none of them that he has actually detained since he started office are in the category of people he said he'd prioritize.
Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, obviously this is very close to your neighborhood, so thanks for joining us on this tonight.
No cages in the Everglades.